Hi, everybody. Welcome to
Date Night Dialogues
with Tag
and Paige.
So it's June 9th or something. We are on a date out in Bella Vista right now.
Yep.
Bella Vista, Arkansas.
We are sitting at the Glass Chapel in Bella Vista, and we're sitting on a bench overlooking Norwood Lake.
Yeah, Lake Norwood.
So it is beautiful.
Very peaceful.
Nice,
the
cool
lake
weather.
Is still...
Took the kids to Crystal Lake, and the kids and Daddy went cliff jumping, and we swam in the water and just enjoyed the beautiful day. So It was a fun Saturday.
Yeah, Crystal Lake Dam out by Decatur, Arkansas. So what's the topic today, love?
Today we're going to talk about our engagement.
Ooh,
when we got married. So it was magical and fun.
So where should we start? We should probably start with it's summer of 1994, and your family has a 1-week trip coming up to Southern California to visit family in San Diego and other places. Your grandmother's on a mission in Los Angeles doing family history. So you think this is, since we're starting to talk about getting married, I probably ought to meet your family.
Yeah, it's a good chance for you to get to know them. So he came on our family vacation with us to California, and
so we drove down to Phoenix. Your parents had a van out in California, and AJ and I got to sit in the back and cuddle and annoy Nellie.
It was nice. Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, so we went and saw my grandmother. We went to the LA Temple. We saw some other sites in the area, and it was really, really fun.
Yeah.
But we were very anxious to get engaged. But we wanted him to meet the family first, and that was happening. And then we were kind of like, okay, when can we get engaged? We just want to make this official.
Yeah, I remember meeting your grandmother, and it was at the Los Angeles, in Los Angeles, near the temple. It wasn't at the temple. And I remember meeting her. She was kind of funny, and she was really respectful, and I don't know, she thought I was wonderful, which gave me a lot of confidence. And I remember we decided to go out to eat to Olive Garden with the whole family, Paige's whole family, and grandmother and me. And I remember walking up the curb, and she was holding onto my arm because I was helping her walk up the curb. And I remember she was kind of feeling my muscles. And I guess I passed because here I am.
Yeah. She would have said, no way.
He's a wuss. Drop him. But I made it. And so we went to Olive Garden, and I just wanted to treat the family and say thanks for taking me on this vacation, because I hadn't spent any money up to that point, so I offered to pay.
Yeah, you took us all out to dinner.
And I remember, they remember that because I was just a poor college student, but I paid for Olive Garden for all this big party.
Yeah, that was cool. Impressive.
I had to try something.
So that was awesome.
So we went back we stayed at some dorms at the Los Angeles Temple that night. Because we were going to go to the temple the next day or something. And so they had women, all the Paige and Nellie and your mom and Miranda. Was Miranda there?
I don't think so.
I don't think Miranda was there. So the girls were in one room, and the boys, me, Pop, and Taylor, were in the other room. And Bethany was with you guys. And I figured since it was just the three of us, it was a good time for me to talk to Pop about, asking for permission to marry you. So I was kind of nervous, but I just went for it. I started talking to him about it.
What was it like?
Well, Taylor was there, so it's kind of awkward because I kind of wanted to do it one-on-one, but I figured,
there was no better time.
No better time, and he's part of the family anyway, and it wouldn't hurt him to see me do this anyway, so I went for it. And it was awkward just starting the conversation, but once it started, it flowed naturally. And he just gave me some good advice, asked me what some of my goals and aspirations were, and gave me some advice about, staying active in the church and whatever. And and gave me permission.
Yeah, I love it that you did that. It's super cool.
And we didn't have cell phones or anything, so I wasn't really able to tell you until the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to your friend. He said, cool. So the wheels are now officially in motion. We've been talking about it.
You've met
met
asked
the family,
for permission.
Permission granted.
Mm-hmm.
So we're driving back to Phoenix in the van and cuddling. And we're trying to decide, like, okay, so now that we've got permission, when should we do this?
Yeah, we don't want to wait any longer.
Like, we were thinking like next weekend after that. Like, when should we do? We got to go ring shopping. We hadn't done anything like that. And this was like a Friday. And we get up the next morning in Phoenix on Saturday morning, and we just decide, let's just do it today.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Let's just get it done today. Hadn't even started ring shopping. All the ring places are closed. So we're calling around town and...
Well, my parents are friends with a guy that's a jeweler, Ron Price.
Ron Price.
They were friends with him, and he agreed to make our rings.
So he goes, even though we're closed today, I'll meet you down at my store in like 1 hour. So this is like, I don't know, 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We go down to his store. We look at some designs and make a pick. Yeah.
Yeah, well, one thing that I thought was neat was I took my dad's wedding ring, and he made a mold of that for Tag's wedding ring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So
mine is kind of modeled after his.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So I thought that was really cool. And
did you get that made though at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get mine made later?
Yeah, I got it made then.
That same day?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So anyway, so we meet with this Ron Price. We give him our ring specs, and he says, I'll get on it, and I'll have it ready to go in like 3 or 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And so we leave. We go back home to your parents, and I call and make reservations at the Compass Restaurant. It's at a Hilton. I think
Downtown Phoenix.
Downtown Phoenix, Arizona. It's a large tower, and at the very top of the tower, there's like a disc shape, and it's a restaurant that spins around slowly while you eat, and it takes about 1 hour to do one complete revolution. I don't know what hotel owns it now. I think it's different Hilton, but at the time it was Hilton.
Mm-hmm.
So I make a reservation there, and I don't know, the excitement is building because you know it's coming. It's not a surprise that it's coming.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready, and then I figured, all right, this is kind of lame that there's no element of surprise here at all. Because most girls have some, so I need to do something. So I call around like a flower place and whip out my credit card, and I pay for like a dozen kind of
red roses
to be delivered to the restaurant at the time that our reservation was for. Mm-hmm. And I wanted the roses to be sitting on our table as we walk in. I don't want them to be delivered like while we're already eating. So then it's about 2 in the afternoon. I go down to meet Ron Price to pick up the rings, and you don't get to see it before we get engaged. That's another like some element. So you haven't seen the ring yet. I've seen it. I put it in my pocket and go back, and now I'm putting on a suit, getting ready. My best that I brought on that trip, and you're getting ready, and so now it's like 5 or 6 in the evening, and we head off to go to the Compass Restaurant. And I've got the ring in my pocket, and I don't know, it was kind of just a magical evening. Like it was just like there's this buzz in the air, all tingly and exciting. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was so neat.
So what do you remember about going to the restaurant?
Well, I remember it was really neat for one thing. It was a really nice restaurant, and how it was rotating around. I just remember it was monsoon season, and so we watched a monsoon come in with lightning and thunder, and it was just
I remember
it was
that.
Awesome.
I remember because you look out there and it was like a wall of cloud and dust slowly moving across like all the way from the sky to the earth.
Yeah.
And on one half, it's a nice blue sky, sunny day. On the other half, it's complete storm. And this wall just moves across the town until it takes over the Compass restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a fireworks show.
Yeah.
It was like so much lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing. It was a really incredible show. And that was kind of like Heavenly Father's way of blessing us with a little fireworks show on the day we got engaged.
Yeah.
But you know, before we got to that point, though, one thing I remember that was kind of funny is, so we park at the hotel and we're walking through the lobby to go to the elevator to go up to the tower. And I see the guy with the flowers walking and he's kind of looking around like he's trying to figure out where to go. And then he starts making his way over to the elevators. So I kind of like get distracted by some artwork and like, hey, let's look on our way. And like, yeah, that's a nice... You
didn't want to go up with him.
Yes, right. So yes, that's a nice vase, you know. And so I see his elevator door shut and he takes off. So then, you know, I'm running out of stalling technique. So we finish making our way over to the elevator and we push the button and we go up. So we're like right behind him. Like we're probably in the elevator before he's out of the elevator. You know what I mean? We're just like several stories behind him.
Yeah.
So we get up there and I see him talking to the maitre d' about where is our table, which table has our reservation. And so again, I'm trying to distract you, look the other way, blah, blah, blah. And so he starts walking one way around the disc. I figure if we walk the other way, we're going to run into him.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to make sure that we walk the same way he's walking. So he's just ahead of us around the circle.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go to the maitre d' and we said, hi, is our table ready? She goes, yeah, follow me. And I'm just kind of slowly walking to keep him. Anyway, he puts the flowers on the table and keeps walking in the same direction. So we never run into him. And literally, so by the time we get to their table, I mean, they've been on our table for like less than 10 seconds. It
So
was
it worked
like
out.
So perfect timing.
Yeah.
So were you surprised?
Yeah, I was surprised. It was awesome.
It had to be something surprising.
Yeah.
Because you knew it was coming. So we order our food. It was yummy. You know, kind of expensive. But you ate really fast. Because
I ate normally.
Well, you knew what was coming.
I knew it was coming, but I guess I normally eat fast.
Well, you wanted to get on with it. Like, let's get on to the show, right? So I'm taking my time, making you sweat a little bit. We're talking about whatever. And the lightning show event, again, is going off outside the windows. And I don't know, finally it was time.
Mm-hmm.
Like we build up to this moment and there was nothing holding back. So I had some sort of like lame-o speech about how much I loved you and everything.
That wasn't lame.
I just don't remember anything that I
don't
said.
remember either, but it was good.
So what happened next? What do you remember?
Well, then you got on one knee and you asked me if I would marry you, and I said yes. And I was really embarrassed. I do not like to have everyone look at me, all eyes on me. I was really like, yes, and I just was hiding, like hugging you, kind of.
Yes,
Oh my
so
gosh.
here's what I remember. It was kind of a noisy restaurant, lots of people, lots of servers walking around. And when I got down on one knee and I finished up my little speech and asked if you would marry me, the whole restaurant just got quiet.
Yeah, everyone was like, oh my gosh.
Everybody was
What's
watching.
happening?
And you looked over my shoulder as I'm facing you, and you just turned red because everybody's looking at you.
Yeah.
And I say, will you marry me? And you just said, yes, like really quiet. And then I stood up and I was like, thank you. Yeah, she did it. I stuck my hands up in the air. Everybody was clapping and cheering. And I just remember, like, I sat down and there was a table of 4, like 2 couples next to us. That was just so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I loved it. Oh. And they wanted to buy us drinks, and we said we didn't drink, so they bought us dessert.
Yeah, that's cool.
So anyway, so you have your ring on, got your dozen roses, we finish eating, and then we we walk out of the hotel. We went up.
And we got to go. And
Went up
visit
the
them.
elevator single, and we came down a couple.
It was fun.
Been dating for 6 weeks, and now we're engaged. And so we went back to school at Liberty Square at BYU. Lived in the same ward still. And when I told all my roommates, they were kind of surprised, and they were super jealous because you were hot stuff. And I remember when you would like lay out at the pool, and when we were up in our apartment on like the second story, and they would look at me, it's like, man, she's hot. I can't believe you got her, Tag.
That's funny.
So anyway,
so we were overjoyed and just really excited, and it just felt so right, and it has been.
So I don't know. Well, I guess next time we'll talk about just the build up from there.
Well, just our engagement and our
then
wedding.
The next 3.5 months, we'll breeze through that, and then we'll talk about our wedding day next time.
Yep.
So I'm glad that you said yes.
Yeah, me too. No hesitation
and
here.
you still have your ring.
Still wearing it.
Yep.
How many years later, love?
Well, it's been 25 years. Do you want to tell about? You have a little inscription on the inside of your ring. Do you remember what it is?
Yeah.
What is it? What are the letters?
LLMCQE. I think you need to say that.
It stands LLMC.
This is what Tag made up.
I say it all the time. Your love of my life, mother of my children, queen of my eternity.
LLMCQE.
Yep.
All right.
That finishes this evening date night dialogue. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
See you next week.